I don't know who I want to focus on. My background's in real estate, so maybe I want to focus on realtors. I know real estate has a lot of
Hmm.
tax advantages as well, so
Hmm.
that's probably where I'm going to focus.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
hot market. That's a
yeah,
really hot
oh yeah,
market. Man, I'm in
yeah,
Arizona, and that's like fire. Like that is needed.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
okay.
So that's
That,
probably the route that I want to go. Maybe stick with realtors. I could probably go with investors as well.
mhm,
Even network with the realtors to get access to the real estate investors as well, and
mhm,
just to run their books and things like that. So that's probably the
okay,
route that I'm going to go, just because that's what I'm familiar with.
right.
But I'm open to whatever comes my way. So
No, no, just a random idea. Just and let's just throw this out there because I thought about doing this. Because initially I have a side thing that I do is actually do lead generation for realtors,
oh,
and yeah, I help them get like buyer and sell leads in my agency just as another vertical that we do. But so I was thinking of doing credit repair for realtors as
mm,
just kind of throwing that in as a offer that my tax firm does just to kind of maximize the leads that I already work with
yeah,
for it just made sense. But that's kind of that's kind of similar thing. You could definitely do that very successfully. I call that making JV partnerships. It's just you just kind of right, you just kind of like but it I mean, I think realtors would be perfect for you.
yeah,
That sounds perfect.
yeah,
And actually, it's kind of crazy. I've been doing lead generation for realtors because I wanted to get more of them into my pipeline for my other vertical.
mhm,
So I have some messages here. It'll be a great demonstration of this method and how it works. I'm gonna go ahead and show you here in a second. But so let's say like at the very end of the day, in this call again. This is really not a sales call, but I know you need this software or you want the software.
yeah,
Now, with that, of course, there's always like a cost that I have in order to provide it to you, how much you want to do, and all that type of stuff. We're gonna go over all that, but
yeah,
I'm gonna show you everything. I'm literally like, I'm not gonna really hide anything. I'm literally gonna show you my software that I built into kind of hold all the leads and nurture them and get them into the appointment because that's really all that matters, right?
yeah,
Parts of this that I'm going to show you, you can do with all sorts of stuff. You can either do it with paid traffic, organic, whatever. But really, the meat of it comes when in the follow up and how like meticulously put together it is, like
right.
how thought out and how planned it is. So let me just go ahead and start showing you. It's a little cold here today, so I'm I'm freezing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
It's
mean I'm in
cold.
Phoenix.
Where
So
where are
sorry,
you located?
I'm in Phoenix right now.
Oh, Phoenix. Oh, it's cold in
Mhm.
Phoenix.
I know, right? Crazy. I guess so. I get so used to the like the heat during the
What is it
summer
like
that when the
there?
winter comes, it just smacks me. Sorry.
I said, what is it like 60 there?
Yeah, probably. It's like 60 something, but I'm freezing, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am
I,
freezing.
it's probably I gotta check this just because you said that. Because I'm in Utah.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, now
Um,
I'm gonna feel bad because I feel like I'm not.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
complaining now.
No, I gotta look at this. So today's probably the warmest day we've had in the last week, and it's
Yeah.
it's 40 right now. So
Geez. Okay. Wow.
usually they're in the 30, like low 30s, this time of
Places
year.
I'm not living, Utah, number one. That is not happening.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy. That's really
anyway,
cool, man. Wow. But so first and foremost, I don't know if you've ever heard of a tools like Ulink or WeConnect or Octopi, but they're essentially like tools that go out in LinkedIn and
mhm,
they make connections and then they send messages for you and pretty much they're ways to kind of get leads. Now, the reason why we do LinkedIn is again, you can use Facebook to get leads, but it's such a waste of money,
yeah,
especially because organic traffic, you can build a seven-figure business without paying ads at all. We stop like I'll show you too. We spent money on Facebook and we got some good leads, but I'll
yeah,
show you the difference between what we're doing now and what we're doing then and why we're just sticking to LinkedIn now, right? So this is my account, one of my accounts with LinkedIn. It is this is Ulink. It's the software that I use in order to automate these connections with other tax professionals. And I have, as I mentioned before, I was doing lead gen with realtors, and I'll just show you this as an example. I have an assistant, and her job is to go through here and manage this every single day. So I don't touch this. She like it automatically sends out connections, and they reply. So she manages all the messages through here. Now, if This is just an example to show you. This was with a real estate agent. I support real estate agents, investors. Just a simple message. I've created like these kind of like cadences that go out, and I have different messages that we kind of recorded based on what type of responses they give that we use to kind of lead them into the sale. For example, like I don't believe in sending them calendars because I think it's really, you lose people when you send them their calendar to go book themselves. It's easier to say, hey, I have 1 p.m. on Tuesday and 4 p.m. on Wednesday, and they tell you themselves, and then you can just. So we have our VAs trained to have that conversation and book the call for them. That's a huge part. That's one of the hugest parts of this whole thing.
Right.
So if you look, they just literally like raise their hand. This guy just raised his hand. Now this for this situation, I think he asked for the calendar, so they just gave it to him. But he just raised his hand. We got him booked in a call, and we got him on a call with a salesman that I have on that vertical, right? So that was a real estate agent though. We were offering them lead generation. Now right now, let's see what I have coming in. Now again, it's a numbers game. At this point, it's a numbers game, right? The lead generation, people are going to say no. People are going to say yes, but it's a numbers game. And we actually do this with cold email and text as well. We literally send out, if you wanted that much traffic, if you wanted to jam pack 30 minutes of your, you know what I mean? If you want to have appointments back to back to back to back, I mean, I'm sure you've heard of D7 Lead Finder, right? You can go to D7, scrape D7 Lead Finder.
Okay.
So it's a tool out there that you can use. It goes and scrapes Google for leads in whatever industry you want. You can put in tax professionals, dentists, whatever. It'll give you their names and their email addresses. A lot of times those are office email addresses, but if you pop those like 10,000 at a time into a system like what I'm about to show you, and it sends out like 10,000 emails every single day, you're gonna get someone to raise their hand and get book a call. Right. So
yeah, and see that's what I'm all about too, because with our and that's what people don't understand too, is like it's all a numbers game. Obviously it's great to have systems and qualifying people and everything. But before I sold my lawn care business, we sent out like 60,000 door hangers and like 100,000 postcards in the spring. So
oh my gosh,
it was like it's so when you're saying numbers, like I totally get with what you're saying, and obviously we're trying to optimize our ad copy and give a good offer and do these right. But at the end of the day, if you're sending out that many, you could literally take just a white piece of paper and write lawn mowing and then put a phone number. And if you're sending out that volume, you're gonna it's impossible for you to not get people. Right.
That's a fact.
So I hear you on the
that's a fact. And we do that. So right now we've turned off the cold sequences for a lot of our clients because LinkedIn works so well. But if you wanted like so many leads, we just go to D7, get those leads, pop them in here. We create, and I don't know if this goes into more like deeper marketing concepts, but we use like, we have team members who go out there and make Gmail accounts. And then in those accounts, we have crafted messages that go out, get responses. So we don't go into spam boxes. We have all those like planned out. So but it's pointless. LinkedIn works so well for business to business. And that's really what we want to focus on when it comes to like getting high paying clients. Those are our high paying clients in our industry, right? We're not going to be able to use this for, let's say, early season clients or like clients that want bank products or clients that just want a refund advance. This won't work for that. This is more like, right. So but we can do that too if you want, or rather if you like, that's more just paid traffic. You're just going to go to Facebook for that and say, hey, come in and get this like $50 discount or come and get a free vacation or something. And then they'll opt in for that. But that's easier. This is more like your $3,000 clients, your 3,500 clients, your monthly recurring $500 a month.
Yeah.
People that are going to make your business actually grow. Right.
Yeah.
So, after they opt in, right, they get booked. And that's kind of where this comes in. This is Firm Closer. And I've kind of broken a lot of this down just to protect Stephanie. Stephanie is my partner. She's out in Texas. She's done an incredible this year. She's about to cross 500K. It's her first year. And she literally uses the system. And just to kind of show you each part of it step by step, we're gonna go from when the lead comes in from LinkedIn, right? So
is this Firm Closer? Is this your software then? Is this what you've created? Okay.
Yes, it is. Yeah, this is my software. Now, this software is literally what I've learned in the last 12 months, plus what I've learned over 10 years doing marketing, as far as cadences, funnels, everything. I put everything into a singular place But the back end of the software, I didn't create. The back end of the software is a software that exists out there for agencies. But
Mm.
what I did was I customized it to fit my tax firm and any early season tax firms out there.
Yeah.
So like, there's no other system that literally works like this is my experience put into a box. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but just like what's it called? WordPress. You build a website on WordPress, but WordPress is a tool. That's kind of what this is used on. So I didn't create the software behind this, but I adopted the software and built
Yeah.
my platform on top of it. Right. So
Right.
so when a lead comes in from LinkedIn, let me actually show you. This is my flow, right? From when a lead comes, oh, not the right one. Oops. There you go. So when a lead comes in from LinkedIn, right? We have, and I'm sure you're aware of what Zapier is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The
Right.
integration stuff.
hmm So this integrates with Zapier and zaps over the lead, their name, email, and phone number into the system, and it puts them immediately into a campaign. This is all automated. So immediately as soon as they come in. We wait 1 day and we send them an email that's like, "Hey, we recently connected on LinkedIn, but I know an email is easier place to connect, right? I wanted to
Mhm.
reach out and see if we can collaborate." Day later, or rather the same exact time that it sends that email, it sends them a text
Mm.
automatically to your phone. You don't touch anything. Then at the same exact time, it sends them a voicemail drop. Now I have voicemail. Let me see if I have mine in here. I don't think I have it in this demo. I was going to show you. Oh, actually, I have it right here. 1 second.
Okay.
I'm just going to show you how easy it is to drag and drop a voicemail in here. So you just record a voicemail on your phone. You
Mhm.
drag and drop it right in there, and it shoots the voicemail right in. And I'm sure you get those all the time, right? Ringless voicemail drops.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. And so now is that part of it customizable? So say I didn't want to do voicemail drops. We can do everything but voicemail, right? Can we take that out? Can we customize that?
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me show you how easy that is.
Okay.
So, and you don't actually even have to go with this flow. You can just move it. If you want the
Oh,
text to come before a voicemail or email, just move it. If you want to delete the voicemail, just remove it right there. But I'm gonna leave this in here because this is actually this is the flow that I figured works. Like this really works, especially when imagine if a client, just that human connection of having your tax professional reach out to you and send you a voicemail and say, "Hey, like thanks for," even if you're just doing let's say regular Facebook ads and you're doing an opt-in, right? And you give them an ebook or some sort, and then you send them a voicemail saying, "Hey, thank you for taking my ebook. I just wanted to make sure that you found this very valuable. So if you have any questions, book a strategy call. If not, I'm here to support you." That
yep.
little like customer service piece,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
that's really like, and when you automate the whole process and you don't have to do it, like
Yeah.
you get to focus on really just doing sales calls and just closing clients. And that's
Right.
really all you need to do to grow your business, right? So
Right.
we have this kind of built out to go out over 21 days. So in 21 days, we're going to touch points with them. And at that point, if they're not interested, we put them into a long newsletter campaign where we just send them like tips, like, testimonials, tips over the next, and they can always opt out of newsletters. So that's
Sure.
their choice. But we know that's the next step. So this is really just meant for the sales portion. But
Yeah.
afterwards, we build out, in here, we have like all our campaigns in here. We have like our credit repair campaigns in here, right? If they don't show up to the appointment, if they're not ready yet, if they booked they requested the booking, they have a two-step email that goes out. "Hey, you requested a credit consultation." They get this sent to them,
Mm.
and a text sent to them right away. I've built in all these little replies and touch points, and I've built it to be really human, to where like you don't necessarily have to have a dedicated person that you're paying $1,500 every single month in your office to like,
Right.
you know, you can't,
Yeah.
and they can only do so many clients until you have to hire another one. So
Right.
this really helps you build a lean firm, right? So moving on from there, one of my favorite parts about just having this system is that we actually can even, like, how you have Calendly's, Stripe, and Stripe is needed. You're always going to need Stripe, but Calendly, you have like MailChimp, you have ActiveCampaign, you have all these different softwares that do all these different parts of things. That's one of the biggest part. This replaces almost all of them. So like, let's say your calendar for your team, right? You
Yeah.
can go in here and create a whole office calendar where it's integrated with each of your your office team members, you can come in here and just add them as users. Where is it? I always lose this. No, I have to add at the agency level. It's not on here. But when you come in here, you can literally you can add every single office member on your team. And we do it on the agency level. So we do it at the top, but we add your team members into your account, and you can add them into every single calendar that you want. So let's say an appointment is booked, like a support appointment, like a client needs help. They're not really, a new lead or anything like that. You have a calendar specifically for that. So in your whole ecosystem, you can pop this calendar right into your website. And as soon as they come in, your team can manage every single conversation right through here. So one of my favorite parts of this is going back to where the lead came in from LinkedIn. When the lead comes in from LinkedIn, what happens is we create an opportunity for the lead here in the pipeline. So in here, I've already created one as a test, just a test campaign, or rather a test lead. But immediately, as soon as that zaps the lead over into that outreach campaign that I showed you, this card gets created for that lead, right? So what happens with this card is if that lead books an appointment, because at that point, the lead hasn't booked an appointment yet. They're just getting the follow-ups to book an appointment. If they book an appointment, they're immediately moved over automatically to lead booked appointment. That also puts them in a nurturing campaign for them to get appointment reminders and show up. Text. It even puts a task on your, remember how I said you can add your team members onto here? Well, your team members can have tasks that go out assigned to them, so that let's say a lead books an appointment, in maybe like 2 hours before the appointment actually happens, your assistant can get a task update to call that lead and just make sure that they're going to be on the call. Those types of little steps are really important. Like we even have, I think it's in here in the LinkedIn lead flow. Let's see. Where is it? Just to kind of show you how the task list comes up. There it is. So just like this, we even write in the script right in here for them. Right. Hey, this is, I'm just calling out we connected on LinkedIn. I'm just calling out to see if you're interested in collaborating, or just a bit, whatever you want your assistant to say when they reach out, whatever questions you come up with before the call, we can put those all into a task like this, so that like when that time is right for them to reach out, they reach out automatically. It prompts them, and there's a phone app even attached to it where they can see all this on their phone, even while they're on the move. Now, one of the best parts about this system and why I even chose to work with a company that has this backend is that we can track conversations through here. So whenever somebody calls into the system, or let's say a lead comes in and we're automatically tracking the lead through the system, we don't need to go out. We don't need Ring Central. We don't need anything. We can add phone numbers into here and have two-way conversations, two-way text through here, and it records everything. So when sales, right, it's really cool. So when like a salesman, let's say a salesman, if you have salesmen in your firm, or whenever in my other vertical, I have salesmen, whenever they reach out and do appointment setting calls, or they do intro calls or whatever, it records the whole thing so I can come back and check it for quality. It's really cool. Just come back in here and you can listen to the whole thing. It's really, really cool. Okay. Same with text messages that go out. If they text back to the number that you have set up as your office number, it comes right in here. And anyone from your staff that is assigned to the lead can come in here and just two-way message them. And then if like, let's say they like, okay, so back to that LinkedIn lead that came into the system, right? At that point, they hadn't booked an appointment. We're sending them outreach. We're sending them text. And let's say they say, hey, I'm actually interested in talking to you via text. What your VA can do, or what your assistant can do, is then come in here and then on the fly book an appointment for them. They can either create an opportunity if that person hasn't already been created as an opportunity, which they will already be an opportunity if they came from LinkedIn. It automatically creates that card that is that opportunity. I'm giving you a lot of like terms that is in the system, and I know I'm probably showing you a lot of stuff, but I'm sure it makes a lot of sense. You have some great marketing knowledge, so I think you get most of it, right? So, or you can schedule them into the appointment right here. You literally click schedule, and it shows your calendar right here. You can just schedule the appointment for them. You can add notes into this card for them. So let me go ahead and expand this actually, because it likes to hide this little piece right here. But anything that you want to do, like any tracking of all your leads, that everybody that you ever send any outreach to, they come right here,
Okay.
right?
Is there a central place where they have all the, so obviously this shows up in the,
Hmm.
it almost looks like a text thread here.
It
Um,
is, yeah.
so so is there a central place that has just the phone calls that we could look at just the phone calls, or do you have to scroll back through to find those?
You have to scroll back through to find those. So like you will see phone calls like just like this. So it's almost like, because you kind of want to keep track of the conversation, the thread. In most cases, you wouldn't really want
Right.
to separate phone call. So you see, most cases you really want to. You wouldn't have a long list of conversations unless you had a client for like 10 years. But for the most part, you can go in here and search anything you want to, right?
Okay.
But I mean, you can't search a phone call, but you can search maybe the time period or maybe what the topic you were talking about via text, and then you
So
can see where it led to the call. Sorry.
no, I was just, so can you search for a specific date range then and narrow it
You
down?
you can't search for a specific date range at the time, not at the moment, but you can just scroll back up. But I can look into having that added to where you can actually search for a specific date range. That's a great suggestion, but I
Okay.
haven't thought of that. I'm still building this out because it's not perfect. Again, like I haven't put this on the market yet. I just use this
Yeah.
for my firm. So
Yeah.
like you're like the second person I've showed this in two
Yeah.
days. Just
Yeah.
just full transparency. You're the second
Yeah.
person I showed this.
No,
I'm just now wanting to get this out. But I
yeah.
think it's really cool because just us understanding marketing and us understanding the journey of a client, this does like 95% of it for you, man.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
super awesome.
So,
But you can, sorry.
sorry. So tell me, so I'm getting, it's a lot of information, but tell me more about the timeline. So with LinkedIn, so tell
Mhm.
me more about how we get things on LinkedIn. So you talk about, so is this a virtual assistant? It's not sending out these, it's an auto
So
messenger, right?
right. So
Okay.
there it is. Let me show you this right here. Well, this screen might be better. So this connector, what we do is we use either the free search or LinkedIn Sales Navigator to search our ideal client avatar. Then we just plug them into the system right here as like a lead, like as a search rather,
Yeah.
right here. So let's say we search for real estate investors, tax advisors. They come right in here as a search. It pops up with however many CEOs or whatever that we defined in our search, and it just cycles them through daily outreaches
Hmm.
set to like the cadence that LinkedIn permits. So LinkedIn won't let you like send more than X amount of messages and X amount of connections a day, or you're gonna get your account blocked. That's how we keep it under, until you're at a certain level. So, and as you know, the way LinkedIn works, like the more connections you have, the more your outreach is with as far as your first degree connections, your second degree, and your third degree. So this is really meant to get prime your account to 500 connections so that every day we're able to send the max amount of connection requests out and the max amount of messages out. So it starts off, if you have a LinkedIn account that has 0 connections,
Yeah.
start off like maybe 10 connections a day, a
Yeah.
few messages a day. But over time, this all is automated. All that has to happen is somebody physically has to come in here and look at the replies and respond. If they're not interested, you just mark them not interested,
Okay.
no interest, and then they just disappear from your list. If they're interested, absolutely. What's your phone number and email? My VA is going to respond to that, right?
Yeah.
Another thing I do is, and I don't know if you're aware of what this tool is Slack.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm sure you're aware of Slack. I use Slack in every single business I own.
Yeah.
So I have a Zap that every time we have a connection on LinkedIn, it zaps in here and it tells me that there's a new person that's connected with me on LinkedIn, and it gives me a little bit of a breakdown on them. Every time they respond positively, I get another message on my Slack, and I use Slack on my phone. I don't
Yeah.
check Ulink. I just have my phone, and I just say, "Hey, Fatima, who's my assistant, hey, go and book this appointment for me." That's literally it. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
show you this.
Yeah, that makes sense. So
Yeah.
so you have so just so I have the timeline right. So you
Hmm.
have this system, this Ulink system, which
Hmm.
reaches out to. So I guess what you're doing is, so you have all of these existing softwares,
Hmm.
and you're taking all of them, this firm closer and this Ulink and all the other, right, and you're and the Zaps, and you're integrating all of them together and optimizing the workflow and the automation, and so you're
Hmm.
kind of patching different soft, and just kind of so it all flows and uses the best of each software
Kind
together.
of. It's kind of essentially, I mean, it's really two softwares and then my software. So Firm Closer is it's a backend that I didn't develop the backend,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
the way it is, that's just full clairvoyance. I didn't develop the backend, but the way it is, I have full creative right to it. Like, it's my proprietary software.
Yeah.
That's just how the company built it to work, and only agencies have access to it. So you have to be a marketing agency in order to use this type of system. They
Yeah.
won't give you access unless you have it. You have an agency. So I was able to build Firm Closer is branded to me. It's my brand. So I was able to build that system pretty much to work in conjunction with Zap and stuff like Ulink, or even, I mean, we do this with Facebook too. Like, there's another tactic that I do with Facebook where we just go into Facebook groups, and I think I talked to you about this a little bit. We go into Facebook groups and we just, like, for roofers, they exist everywhere. We just
Yeah.
send them friend requests and we just ask them pretty much the same thing. Hey, I do this, this, and this. Can I possibly help you out? I'm not trying to sell you anything. Hey, like, are you interested in working together? It works so incredibly well. And
Yeah.
same exact process, they get booked into a calendar, they end up in here.
Yeah.
And this is what wow, I lost my iPad. Sorry about that. This is what really makes the difference and gets them on the appointment. Because nothing really happens unless they get booked on an appointment.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So, and a couple other things that this does, again, that this isn't all of running your marketing. Like, there's so many other key parts that play into it. You got to get your testimonials. You got to have your Google page optimized. You got to have Google My Business up. So
Yeah.
I actually put reputation management in here. Like, we've got reputation management in here, to where if somebody, like, sends you a testimonial or leaves you a review, you can literally just go in here and screenshot this and put this on your landing page.
Okay.
Which is crazy thing. We actually have funnels in here. I'm sure you've heard of ClickFunnels, right?
Yep.
So one thing that this tool does, if you find a funnel that you really like, you can go copy the URL for that funnel, pop it in here, and it'll take that frame of the funnel for you, and you can just take out parts and use it as your own. So like, you don't use that funnel. I mean, full clairvoyance, you have the right to do the unethical thing and use somebody else's funnel, but I would never do that. You just take the design of the funnel. You can literally plug and take parts out of it and use it as you want. So like this, these funnels are existing funnels that other companies already use, but they're well designed. The design worked, they converted, right? They're available to use. Like, so when you go in here into the funnel builder that we have in the system, it's just like ClickFunnels. It's literally like plug and play. You just go in here, take out this copy, right? If you want to put your own picture in here, take this out, upload a picture of your own, excuse me. Upload a picture of your own, just like that. You still have the design, you save it. So, and imagine, like, when you run ads, and if you decide to run paid ads, right? Like, talking about putting fuel on the fire, that's when you run paid ads. Like, I always say, start with organic, never spend $1 on Facebook. But when you decide to run paid ads, this is literally all you need. You create your funnel, or even if you're doing like an ebook launch or some sort of product launch based on your company, you can come and use this and create your funnel, and within minutes, you have your product launch up. Right? Okay. And if you look at, and if you're familiar with funnels and steps, it's all right here. You have your opt-in, your sales page, your order form, your thank you page, all right here. And it connects right into Stripe. So coming into here into your integrations, you can integrate Stripe, Google My Business, Facebook, and your leads from Facebook come right into any campaign you want. Just like how I showed you from LinkedIn, Facebook doesn't even need Zapier. We have it to where, like, if you use a Facebook lead form, which I don't know if you've ever run Facebook ads, but that's when people actually give you leads on Facebook, right? So if you use those are pretty good sometimes, right? If you use those, you can plug them right into one of the campaigns that you build on the back end. You can put QuickBooks in here, right, to manage your books, whatever you want to do with it. Stripe, right? But honestly, I've showed you a lot of it. I think at this point, you can pretty much see, there's so much more I can show you. We could be here for like 2 hours of me showing you stuff that this team does. But I built it so that I can be lazy, man, and I can focus on what I love doing, which is like, building companies. I love building companies. So I made this to, like, just take the tech, because I think I told you I wanted to get into the tax business because it's a need-based business. I wanted to give my mom the company, give my tax professionals clients, and not have to worry about anything else. So from the beginning, the very first day I got into this industry, my whole goal is to, how do I delegate this process to where I don't have to do it? And I think I pretty much got most of it down at this point.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, and it's just crazy because it's obviously we've used a lot of the same. I've used a lot of the same stuff, and
Hmm.
they're using some stuff that I haven't used before but wanted to, and others, and so it just kind of brings, and that's kind of what we did there. Is we didn't have custom stuff, but we took a bunch of things that integrate, and we created this flow where
Yeah.
we, and so it's similar, and you've obviously stepped it up a little more than what we did.
Hmm.
um, but yeah, it's the same idea. So no, it's really cool. Tell me, and I also like how you're talking about the organic stuff, because
Hmm.
I've done that for my real estate business
Hmm.
as well. So I was actually I had a virtual assistant um, that was reaching out to other real estate agents and pretty much saying, hey, and this is when I was first getting started, and
Hmm.
ended up, this is how I made the money to start a business, to grow, but
Yeah.
from real estate, is I had a virtual assistant, and we had this big email, and I'm a realtor, so I have access to our realtor, our MLS, our database, and all that other stuff,
Hmm.
right? So I can get
Right.
all
Right. Right.
everybody's contact information. So I
Right.
got all that, and I had a virtual assistant send emails. I looked into some softwares that would do it. But we were getting lots of bounces and but when they're typed in individually, and the virtual assistant was just so affordable, it was like,
Hmm.
well, it'll take a little more time, but we could do it this way. So
Right.
they were typing sending out hundreds of emails a day, and they start to flag you after a certain point, but
Hmm.
um, asking other realtors, hey, I'm a new agent, um, can I market your listing, right? And I'm
Hmm.
not stealing your listing. I just want to take the buyer leads, um, and I'll pay for advertising. So you don't have to pay for it. You can tell your clients that it's on all these other websites, these other paid websites, local classifieds, and other things like that aren't
Hmm.
syndicated through our MLS. And so I'll cover all that marketing costs to get your listing out there, but I want to take the buyer leads. And I got dozens and dozens and dozens of them that are like, sure, I don't care. Good luck. Welcome to the industry, whatever. Right. And a lot of people were
Hmm.
pissed off too. But again, it's that numbers game. And so, um, but that was totally organic too, just emailing
Hmm.
people, just reaching out. And I had really good success with that. So tell me, and I'm not opposed to spending money on marketing too, but I think that's
Hmm.
really good to start with that organic stuff, just going, direct response right to them,
Right.
and asking for the business. This is what we
Yeah.
offer,
Yeah.
asking for the business, and then doing that on a big scale. So so tell me about your email stuff, because I'm interested in that
Hmm.
too. There's a couple of public, some of them are free and some of them are paid,
Hmm.
um, business like directories almost,
Hmm.
where you can get their email. I think you have to pay for the email, but you can get their phone number and all this other stuff. But so if I had a list of businesses here in Utah and I wanted to email to them,
Hmm.
how would you approach that?
So, very good question, and it does do that as well. Um, the best way for me to show you, let me go ahead and show you this way. 1 second, please. Actually, easy way to do it. I'll just show you you can just import them as a CSV. So if you're paying per email, and like I think I mentioned D7, and you might end up sending me a text message later like, Kobe, I mean, thank you for sending me this, because
Yeah,
like
yeah,
D7, you pay $97 a month. You can scrape as many emails as you want. You literally just put in there, I want a roofer. I want roofers. It'll tell you all the roofing companies within a certain area.
yeah,
Yeah, it's really awesome. I think that literally, so like that's how you would get, instead of paying. I wouldn't pay for per email like that, because that's just a lot. I hate paying per lead whenever it's not really qualified.
yeah, yeah,
I'd rather just pay for a software that scrapes for me. Also, you can we have various, I guess you call them contacts out there
mhm,
that we use, and what they do is they go into these, again, Facebook groups where CEOs of these big companies actually hang out and communicate with each other. Like, as you are well aware, before you started your company, I'm sure you were in Facebook groups with very similar business
yeah,
owners. They
yeah,
just exist,
yeah,
right? You just, if you're aware of those Facebook groups, we have various other partners that we work with and VAs that we've trained to scrape those groups and get you the list of business owner's personal, because you use your personal email whenever you sign up
Right.
for Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we have software that scrapes that information for you. So talking about getting really good emails, that's how we do it. D7 Lead Finder, a couple other tools. I mean, there's Lead Gorilla, like, and they all do the same thing, but they scrape different ways. And leads kind of get changed and tossed around and kind of misused. So we always use different ones. We always use email verifiers to make sure that those emails are actually still active, which is a step before you put them into the software. And I'm going to show you where you put them in the software, but you scrape your lead, verify the email, make sure it's clean, right? And then you can have your VA, or whenever we do it, what I'm planning on doing when I offer it to agencies is we're probably going to take care of all of it for them, including getting a VA on staff to do it for them. But you just go here in contacts, right? You have every contact that comes into your system is tracked right here as a contact. Their email, phone number, the date they were created, right? And the last activity. You can come in here and bulk add, excuse me, you can bulk add leads in here, contacts in here. And like, let's say you have a CSV file of like roofers or any other lead type that you're trying to go after, right? You can actually come in here and bulk request them and add them into the system, and it'll just pop them into one of the campaigns just the same way. So you just you just take the Excel sheet. I wish I had one of these Excel sheets to pop in here for you, but I don't have it on this computer at the moment. But you just go in here and you pop your leads right in here. You upload your leads into the system, and they go right into one of the campaigns. So we have campaigns that are built out for cold email.
Okay.
So these ones right here, I actually use them for my real estate clients. I duplicated and put together this snapshot just to show you this, but just to check, just so you can see this. When we scrape a lead, typically we'll get the phone number and the email address as well, right? So again, I like voicemail drops, as you can tell. I have a voicemail in here, and then SMS, another voicemail, or I have well, actually, oops, my bad. This is the cold phone outreach. Let me show you. Okay, you know what? Let me just do this 1 second, please.
That's right.
I'm going to show you my actual account because I don't have everything in this one.
You're good.
And I want you to actually see it because it's really cool. But we do the same exact system that takes care of the leads from LinkedIn. It takes care of the leads from cold outreach as well. So 1 second, let me go ahead and pop this up. Okay. All right, so where is my Zoom? There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, so share my screen. Okay, so you just come in here, upload your CSV file in here, and all your contacts pop up in here. Then what you can do is when you come into your marketing, you can do these things called bulk requests. And you can create a bulk request and tag every single lead, right? With, like, let's say email 1 or whatever. And then you can come in here and set actual, like, what the bulk request does is you can set times that you want to request it to happen. So let's say you have like 2,000 roofers that you just imported via the CSV file, right? And you just put these roofers into your system. Now you need to send them emails. We create a bulk request with a time on it, and you tell that time to send every single person tagged with a certain tag that email at a certain time. So if everybody that's tagged roofers gets those email sequences, and those email sequences are just built in here.
Yeah.
Now you can come in here. You can always update them for your need. You don't need to use the ones that these are easily updatable. Like, you just, like, cold email, right? This was actually for real estate investors. Actually, don't think I built that one out. 1 second. Let's look at this one. Oh, I didn't. But you can come in here and you just, it's an HTML editor. Like, create your email right in here.
Okay.
Right?
So
very simple.
So do you guys have like open rates and the other data, so we know how many opened and others? Because I've used stuff that's similar,
Yes,
it
we
just
do actually.
the problem is with the when you bulk. The problem we were running into is with the bulk sending. We were getting a ton of them that went to spam,
Mhm.
and obviously our delivery rate, if you're typing them individually, which I know is hell, takes forever and whatever, but it's 100%. It
Right.
goes there because they're individually, done, and it's sent more organically. So I guess that would be my only concern is how we would.
Mhm. So you can actually track that. So let me go ahead and find one where we've actually sent a test into it. It's probably in here. One second. Right here. Okay. So every time you send these pop out. Every time you send an outreach out or you pop somebody into a campaign, like again, this is just a template that I created just to show you this. But every time you pop someone into a campaign, these show you your literally your click rate, your bounce rate, your open rate right here. And then
Okay.
when you go ahead and click on it, you click show details. It'll tell you how many of your leads.
Okay.
It's all right here. So
Okay.
like you just go into your campaign. If you have a cold email campaign, like the
Mhm.
one I showed you, which I mean, we organize these in folders based on what they're used for. So let's
Mhm.
say our this is voicemail. Let me go to cold email. It's actually in here. So you just go into the cold email campaign at the top of the day. You just
Mhm.
check out your bounce rates, and they pop up right here when you start feeding leads into them,
Okay.
right? And you can even come in here and like let's say you have multiple salesmen on your team or
Mhm.
whatever. You can create custom campaigns based on each salesman. So if you just want like my salesman Branson and Eric, if you want just Branson to get everybody in this campaign, you just tag Branson into it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And
Yeah.
he's the only. And what happens is we have these custom values in here when it just goes and gets the user's full name, and you can use these custom values to kind of like so when you create your email, you have these custom values just like this that you can put into your email, and it'll automatically put whoever that flow is created and assigned to their name into there every time it sends those outreaches out. So like all this is just customizable. You can go in here and you can change all this over time. And I'm working on putting together like a little course area where I mean I'm just gonna just do like probably have multiple members on my team just record just Loom videos of us doing this stuff and showing people how to customize it and use it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
haven't gotten a chance to do that stuff yet.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, no, that's great. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, and yeah. So, I mean, it seems like it works. I guess we'll find out. But
It does. It actually simply does. Like, I mean, the concept of marketing is what shows that this works. If
Mhm.
if you have the, I mean, this system is like any other one. It's like if you use ClickFunnels or any other tool, it's just what needs to happen every time a lead comes into your system,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like that's what this does. It's not a matter of if like it's tools like technology. Does Twilio work? Does ClickFunnels work? Yeah, it does work. You just have to use it to do exactly what you want, right? And
Yeah.
seeing all the functionality in here, I mean, I can't really think of in my experience running my own firm and my partner's firm, I can't think of anything I need in my sales process that this doesn't really do other than just doing the sales call.
Yeah. Right.
You know what
Right.
I mean? Like I can't think of anything, and that's why I put this together. Even why I adopted the backend system because it made my job easier.
And so does this also integrate with like CRM? So this is obviously
Mhm,
the marketing end, and this is
mhm,
like beginning to end on the marketing stuff, which is great.
mhm.
Does it also integrate um, with CRM stuff where it can automatically add um, clients into there and stuff like that?
That's a great question, and it does via Zaps. But
Okay.
another one point I want to make is these pipelines are really powerful. Like when it comes to a CRM is meant to just manage
Yeah.
the client's like journey through your company, right?
Yeah.
When the lead comes in from LinkedIn, for example, and they book a call, I'm on my iMac with a with a manual mouse, so I can't scroll this over. But
Yeah.
there's at the very end of this pipeline, there's a appointment booked column, when they pop into that column, they get moved over to a different like hot pipeline. So let's say your sales process has a different pipeline than your LinkedIn lead process. So when they get to a certain part of your lead process, they're going to get put into a pipeline meant for sales. The same thing can be created for your internal company systems as well. So like, let's say you wanted a pipeline for like, after the client pays, you want your onboarding pipeline where like you did document request, document accepted, tax account created, or like tax dome account, if you're using tax dome, like tax dome account created, or whatever you want those steps to be, you can build them out right here in pipelines. You just go in here in the settings and create a pipeline, and you can put each stage in here just to show you one that's already created, right? So this is for credit repair. When a new lead comes in, when the lead is hot, they get put into a card. That card gets moved into that hot column, just like Trello or Asana or any other CRM. It's very much built to be kind of the same way. You just move the card, or the card moves itself, so you can track every single opportunity wherever it is. And in those pipeline stages, you can also assign different, like in here, a lot of the stuff that happens is it happens on the same concept as Zaps, with triggers. So when, if like an if then statement trigger, if this happens, then do this, right? So if a lead is moved from new lead to call closed, assign lead value $2,000, the system will do that. So it'll add the amount $2,000 so that when you come here in your dashboard, you can see exactly how many leads are in your pipeline and what the value is.
Yeah.
Based on where and this all just needs to be customized. And that just takes me a couple of days to do, right? And literally it's all in here. It's like and I built this dashboard mostly so you can see your KPIs. You need to see that to really know where your marketing money is spent. Because if you're spending money on Facebook ads and your Facebook ads are coming into here, your leads are coming in here, and you're closing calls from those leads into the system knows how many calls your salesman got on, how many calls they actually moved from that new lead pipeline to book pipe. So you see exactly how many converted from that actual spend that you spend on the ads to actual money in the bank, because it'll assign the lead of value as soon as it moves to engagement paid, or whatever that last step is, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So my back end management CRM of choice that I actually like to use, and you don't have to use this, and you can use any other thing. I use ClickUp. I don't know if you've heard of ClickUp.
I haven't.
You haven't? So ClickUp is really, really, really cool. Let me go ahead and just show you one of my accounts. And I can also just help you adopt this into your firm if you want it. We actually don't even we use the free version at the moment, because the paid version is like, it's crazy. You don't even really need to use that. But let me go into here and show you Royal Tax Solutions pipeline. So everything that we do as far as our backend management, when it comes to like clients, active clients, right here, right? We just build like steps for them. So like it's what can I compare it to? It's a little bit just like Asana. It's just like Monday. Monday's not, I don't know if you use Monday or not. They all do pretty much the same thing. It's just like a different way to track your clients, right? So let's see. Actually, I don't think we have this one built out for Black Star Tax yet, but okay, let me just use Royal Tax, or Keystone Media rather. I want to actually show you how we use it whenever it's built out. Okay, so this is in my agency. Every time we have prospects, we track them here in our prospecting space, right? Now, we even put our SOPs in here. Like I have multiple VAs that do various things, and when they first come into the business, I have training modules that they have to go through, and I just handle all that through here. So I have training modules built in here as far as onboarding clients, fulfillment for the clients, the SOPs in here, right? And then we have this thing, these little spaces that we create for each new client. So under projects, that's where we house all of our clients in every step on all their stuff. Onboarding, fulfillment, management, reports, campaign, all that stuff we do through here.
Yeah.
Right. So ClickUp is really cool. Like I have this, you can take your whole build and send it to somebody else. And I was part of this program by this guy. You might have heard of him. His name is Andrew Argue. He has this program. It's called 7-Figure Firms. I joined it like last year, and he's actually the one that sold me on ClickUp. He like his program. They give you a template on it, and like it's pretty much built out for accountants. I could go ahead and send that over to you. It's really, really, really useful, and you pretty much manage your clients through it. But that doesn't, again, that's just not the sales marketing part. That's just, you keeping your stuff organized. And but yeah. But
Okay.
us tax professionals, we mostly just use our tax software. I mean, unless you're doing bookkeeping, I mean, yeah, it really matters. Honestly, we use it all the time.
Yeah.
It matters. Yeah. So
yeah. Huh.
That's essentially it though. I mean, that's like four softwares to run our business as opposed to like 20.
Yeah.
Right? We use ClickUp, Firm Closer. Right now we use Ulink and Zapier, and that's it. Now there's another software we use called Be Louder, and Be Louder is meant for Facebook scraping. I'm not sure he has Be Louder out and in public yet, but I'll see if I can find the link for you to get it. But I actually know the creator personally. It's a very new software that he came up with like about a month ago. What it does is it helps you manage like your Facebook conversations so what we do is we create a profile, and then we create a funnel within that profile. So as soon as you come into that profile, and I can show you my funnel profile. As soon as you come into that profile, you are led into building trust with your ideal client avatar. Let me go ahead and this is my personal profile, not my business one. I'm going ahead and show you. That's my page. Let's do, okay. So this is what I mean by a profile funnel. We use Facebook to get quite a bit of leads. Like it actually works really well as well. Same direct marketing, like it just works. I don't know, just asking people for their business works. I don't know what it is, but right in the top of my bio, I help tax, accounting, and credit repair businesses get more clients to scale to 7 figures.
Yeah.
And then what I do is I make myself very well known and very valuable in groups and just help people. Like just answer questions, literally just give them tons of stuff that people charge them thousands of dollars for. And that's really where I find the value. Like I go on live, if I go on live on here, I'm talking about something that's definitely going to change somebody's business or give them an insight, because I know where my zone of genius is and I know where I changed their life, and anything else about that, around that, I'm going to give them happily if I know it. You know what I mean? So if you're helping doctors, like I would be like, hey, are you aware of the fact that you can possibly bring your daughter or your young son on to be a receptionist, and pay them some extra money and possibly have like that free tip that they can't really turn that into saving tons of money in their taxes, but that's something that they probably didn't even think about. But if you share that in a small tip on a Facebook page, man, it just works. And same thing, you pop them into your calendar in Firm Closer, and they're in the same exact system.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, no, that sounds, it makes sense. I have a quick question. So do you make your graphics, or do you have somebody make your graphics?
So I actually have, like my media company makes my graphics. So I have a team of graphic designers. So I built a media company around the tax niche. So I have a graphic designer and a videographer. They do everything for me. I'm not that guy, but
no,
they're really good though.
Yeah, that looks really good.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I love my team, man. They're great. They're great at what they do. And honestly, we do I'll show you this actually, and I'll send you over a really cool template that we made. I don't know if you like Instagram, but just talking about organic, and I'm about to try this week. I just found these really cool apps that let you go on Instagram and search for people based on keywords in their bio, and then you can send them messages. So literally the same message cadence that I'm already really converting with on all these other apps, I'm about to do the same thing on Instagram. Now, what we do on Instagram, let me show you my business page. I accidentally did this. I just wanted to create a bunch of like really information driven posts for my clients, and somehow tax firms kept following me. So just the profile funnel like mentality, when I go in here and I start offering this to tax firms, this is my actual like business page. It's for whatever reason, tax firms come on here and they just take my stuff. Like I have these, like I've seriously had to call out so many people, but they come in here and they take out off these graphics because we make it in a very, we do it with marketing mentality.
Yeah.
Because I come from a marketing background, so I learned from this dude, Chris Doe. He shows using carousels to tell stories or to teach people. It's a lot better than just putting everything on a post because just blast
Yeah.
them with information.
Yeah.
Right. So we create these carousel posts that like people love engaging with. And because of this, a lot of tax firms started following me. So adopt the same process to roofers or whatever your niche is, and just target them specifically.
Yeah.
Man, like, and then mix that with the new function that probably by next week I'm gonna have up and running. I can show you it too.
Yeah.
We're gonna be using Instagram to literally reach out to tax firms and get them to
Yeah.
book a strategy call.
So what do you use to scrape the bios or the descriptions on
So
profiles?
let me see if I have it's a suite of tools. I want to see if I have it open in here. No, this isn't it. It is a suite of tools that I just stumbled across. Oh, there you go. Instatech is the name of the. So what this will do is, and again, I'm still very new to it, so I just found it like yesterday. But you can create these filters, and when you come in here and create a filter, you can do, let's see, by where is it? Bio. And then you can do, I think this is where you put it, tax. Okay, and then you come in here, user followers. I'm still getting used to this, but let's see. You come in here, I think you come in here, you pick your filter, you add it. Oh, username. I think I have to tell it what username I want to use. I need to play with this some more. I need to play with this some more. But ask me in a week. I'll have this figured out.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Ask me in a week.
No, that's really
But
cool.
yeah, I just found this tool. Like it's just a suite of, it's like 4 different apps all in one. Is this one, this other, not this one, but where is it? Oh, right here. There we go. This one. So this one comes with, like, this app itself comes along with Instastack in the suite. And in this app, you can just come in here and search. For this to open up. I got to play with this one a lot more. So
yeah.
But essentially, like, we're gonna be able to scrape more free leads using Instagram.
Yeah.
So this one you just search tax and it'll pop up with account. No, these are just Instagram accounts.
Yeah.
It shows and you go ahead and click on them and it'll open the Instagram account for you. And then there's another tool that's connected on here. That's another one of these tools in this suite. It's a link scraper. It'll take all those links of the links that you open up, put them on a document, and it's like 4 different tools that ultimately get you automatic messages sent. So it's gonna need a VA put in that place, but
yeah,
I'm finding a way to kind of, sorry.
I said, which is fine if you need to.
Right.
Sometimes you got to plug the holes with a VA.
Exactly. But the basis of it is that there's so many sources for leads, man. You, like, even on posting stuff on YouTube, you might get leads, but there's no back-end system. Like, there's like something that gets the leads primed, hot and ready, like sending out testimonials, you can send out testimonial videos to their phone, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can just embed a video into a YouTube link, pop it in their phone, and send them results of you saving roofers tons of like, it just makes sense and it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, like any way you want to generate your leads, whether it's organic or paid, Firm Closer is really meant to just kind of support that, and ultimately get you more book calls on your calendar. it's like a business in a box. Now that whole snapshot thing, the whole, and we call them snapshots. The whole account that I showed you, the setup,
Yeah.
we can duplicate it for almost any industry. It's just it's a business in a box. Like you take your expertise. Like if you own a recruiting company and you knew the steps it takes to get someone recruited, we can pepper that all into the system.
Yeah.
Right. So what makes the system really awesome is just the experience, the mistakes, what we've gone through, the sweat equity that we've put into building this. Um, we're almost at like 7 figures now,
Yeah.
and the experiences that we got over the last year, man, it's been crazy. That's all we put into the system, and I think that's kind of what makes it special. Like you can go in there and find 5 programs that do this exact same thing. It might
Yeah.
cost you at the most $1,000 a month, and it'll work, but you
Yeah.
still have to plug them all together. You have to know messaging. You have to know sales. You have to know.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
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 So,
Cool.
man,
Wow. Yeah. No,
I'm
that's.
sorry, man. I'm sorry to blast you
Thank
with so much stuff.
you. No, you're kind of blowing my mind. I just,
Yeah.
it's really, I don't want to be weird about it, but it's
Yeah.
just probably one of the most beneficial conference calls I've been on, and I've been on. No, really,
I
because
love that.
it's so hard, and even I think we are going to do some business together, whatever that means.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but even if we didn't, like, just to know that there's somebody else out there that's like me, because I know, and I'm kind of going off left field here, but like I talk to my friends, I talk to my family about the stuff, and it's like they're like, dude, like you own a lawn care company, like you guys. It's like, well, no, it's not. We're
Yeah.
actually, I feel more like a software company than a
Yeah.
lot. We're a software company that happens to cut grass. Like that's what. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I do. Yeah.
So this whole conversation that we just had, and you're telling me this stuff, you're getting like, I can see you're passionate about it, and you're just like,
Yeah.
it just fucking works. It just
Yeah.
works. Like this and then this and then this. That's the same thing that I do with, well, a lot of like my friends, my fan, and they're
Right.
just like, dude, I don't care. Like, I don't know what you're talking, or,
Right.
cool,
Right.
good for you.
Yeah.
But it's all of that stuff that was able to allow me to step back from the biz, just like you've done,
Hmm.
which is what made it worth something to somebody else, that they don't have to run it every day, and how I was able to sell
Exactly.
it. So, um, anyway, so yeah, we're it's a ton of information, and it all makes sense. But yeah, we're on the same wavelength here, so I think
Yeah.
that's great. I really, I guess the thing that I like the most about it is it's not. Sorry, I'm getting a text.
You're
Um,
good.
it's not. It's like you said, it works. You just have to use it. But I mean,
Hmm.
anybody can say that, but it's just so fundamental. People talk about, especially in these groups that we met in.
Right.
You're like, how do I get clients? Like, well, referrals and networking, and it's like, again, that's not
Time.
time, and it's
Yeah.
not scalable, and it's not.
Yeah.
So you can only join so many chamber of commerce,
Hmm.
right? To do,
Hmm.
but you've kind of taken that networking, and this, you've scaled that, because it's
Yeah.
still, I just love that organic, it is organic,
Hmm.
but you've been able to scale, and we're still going directly to customers,
Right.
and it's not without spending money on, obviously the system costs money, I get that, but without, the Facebook ads and other stuff,
Hmm. Yeah,
and
and that's actually the key. If you think about it, like that's, as an agency, I learned it so, like, this is one of it kind of frustrated me, but at the same time, I couldn't blame clients. When you go to work with an agency, you're gonna pay them $22,000 at the least to
yeah,
do the work for you, plus whatever you want to spend on ads.
yeah,
Like my first thing was, I mean, and we run. I mean, I don't know if I mentioned I'm gonna show you this. We ran ads. We had great success running ads. Let me show you this. I actually have it up.
yeah,
So last year in January, I spent $800 on Facebook ads. I got 800 leads. That's about $1.
yeah,
It was like $900, and actually it was a little more than 800 leads. But what at the time I didn't have Front Closer,
mm,
and the way I tracked it was with Google Sheets. Now
yeah,
what would happen is they would get zapped over from Google Sheets. Right, this is literally the form right here. If you
yep,
look at it, SBA, like, booked over on the phone, Calendly as bookings. Like if they so we had we were using ClickFunnels at the time. We had a 2-step funnel. They
yeah,
came in for the opt-in, and then they would either book themselves. If they didn't book themselves, we would follow up. That's where they would come into this form for us to follow up. Now,
yeah,
if they book themselves, they show up on this Calendly booking page, and then we have to go ahead and we would have a VA, or what I was really doing that was so stupid. I had my tax professionals calling
Oh,
my
yeah.
right leads, and I
Yeah.
was and I had people quit on me
Yeah.
because I had people. They're like, "Dude, I didn't sign up to be calling people and
They're
chasing
not
them
built
down.
for
I
it.
didn't
Yeah.
right. Like they didn't do it." So I was like, "Okay, that was the first big mistake I made." Second big mistake I made, I hired. I mean, I figured it out. It was a next step up. I put a VA in charge of this process, but
Yeah.
she couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
Like it was too extraneous, just tagging everybody with the right color. Like, we're trying to color code it. Yellow
Yep.
was like, if they didn't pick up, we would make them yellow. If they did and they just like, yeah, no answer. In another meeting, we'll call back. Applied already. Like, all these different responses, we have to track them all instead of just having see the note tab I showed you where like all the text messages are
Yeah.
right there. Bro, like, does that make sense? The value in that?
Oh, it totally makes sense. No, it just and
Right.
it's just so trip. It's like deja vu. What you're showing me is
Yeah.
exactly this is what we had when I sold the business. So like you said,
Oh,
we had
okay.
systems. This is
Yeah.
better than nothing. This is better
Yeah.
than
No,
nothing.
it is. It
Uh,
is. It
and
is.
you got
Yeah.
a VA and it's still automated. Like, but this
I
is
mean,
where I left it. And when I
this got
sold,
us this got us to 100K. This got
yeah,
us to 100K. But
exactly.
Burn Closer got us to almost a million. Like that's the difference. Like this
Yeah,
was not gonna get us more than 100K.
yeah,
Like that was not
yeah,
gonna happen.
yeah. Yeah.
Just,
So that
but
so you've taken the next step. But yeah, just
pretty
with
much.
the formulas and the different tabs and
Hmm.
it's exact and
Yep.
then and things are sent there automatically and they're sorted and stuff. So it
Invoice pending right here. Like, man. So but still think of it though. Out of that out of that those Facebook ads, we spend $900 on Facebook ads. Facebook ads do work. They're
yeah,
the fire that you throw onto it. That $900 we spent, we converted like maybe 15-20%, but
yeah,
that's mostly because we had a shitty system behind it. If we
right,
had
right,
Burn Closer, it would have been like 65%. But
right.
even in that small percentage, man, our ROI was over 100,000 on $800 in ad spend,
Yeah.
just from how we spend. Like
I mean, you get one client, it's a good,
yeah,
it pays for itself a couple times over. So
pretty much, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
cool.
But yeah, man, I love that you're able to like see kind of how
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
like from the. I mean, we had so many dead leads. Just look at that. Like we had so many people that were just like, what is this? And
yeah,
one thing I learned many months ago is that there's this event that happens if you don't call somebody after 5 minutes of them opting into something, they just forget about it. It's like
yeah,
amnesia of the it just disappears. So like with Firm Closer, like there are automated text messages. If a lead comes into that LinkedIn booked lead file and they book an appointment, a text message actually goes out to your VA or whatever in whatever way you need them to be reached, and they will actually show up and call that person or do whatever action you need. Like for credit repair leads, right? We find out those people need to be bothered. Like
yeah,
we actually really kind of bother credit repair leads because
yeah,
they're just kind of they're not really motivated, right?
yeah, totally.
So
Yeah,
right. So we have a text message sequence built out over like once every day where it will text them once every day for like 3 days, and then a VA will call them and say, "Hey, are you still interested in taking this offer? We're still offering this credit repair consultation, and you might get a free vacation. Are you interested? Just come in and check it out." Like that
yeah,
converts so much. You know what I mean? Like it's just a
yeah.
numbers game at that point
Yeah,
when you have
but
this.
it's almost at a point where like you don't. I got to the point where I didn't mind how many bad leads we were getting because it's one thing if they're not delivered or whatever for doing
Hmm.
email stuff, but because it's like you're always going to have a percentage, and I know that if I have a certain percentage of that, I'm
Hmm.
also going to have a certain. It's just more people reaching out to, right? And you're always going to have people who it just doesn't work or it bounces or something happens, right? But for every 10 of those that you get, you're going to get one that works and it's going to sign up.
Hmm.
So but yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a
And,
numbers game.
right. And you know what else? That actually makes sales a lot easier. When you
Mm,
don't have that chip on your shoulder, when you're just like, man, this sales call is dire for me. Like I only have two of these this week. I have to close them. Like
yeah,
if you have 10 sales calls in your day, you don't care if somebody sells no to
yeah, I mean,
you.
we call it commission breath at the
Right.
office. Like
Right.
all the new guys have commission breath and your clients smell it. Like
Yeah.
like, oh, this
Yeah.
guy needs this stuff. But it's like, listen, I don't need to sell this to you. We have a great product,
Hmm.
and you want to solve these problems, you want to improve in these ways. We can
Hmm.
help you by doing these tasks. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, fine. Nothing that you can say is going to convince some other if it works. So they either get it or they don't get it.
Right.
And then if they don't get it, that's okay. and then we move on to the next one.
Yeah.
And you just kind of, so.
You close one a day for 5K, man. You got a $1 million business in no
Oh,
time.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a big deal,
So
and so,
yeah.
cool. All right, so let's talk about our stuff, what you had in mind for us,
Mhm.
and I don't know if that ties into pricing for this other system, or what your thoughts were on that.
So just and you kind of like convinced me even more. And I've been talking about I've been talking to my media buyer about this too. I wanted to get a sales partner on board to help me out with this, as far as like just offering this to other tax firms. But in order to create a symbiotic relationship, I wanted to like be able to help because I want people that are like they're well versed in the tax industry. Like I want you as a EA, right? Soon to be EA, to be helping people with the system. It just makes more sense to me. So in order to prove the most what the get to have the most social proof and the most like value, and then just help people make that transition easier, I want to make your company successful too. Just like how we, you know what I
Right.
mean? It makes more sense to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to charge you as normally I would with an agency, because what I'm thinking of offering with this program is I was going to do kind of 3 different packages. Either, I put you from Closer itself, it's $100 a month. Like we're gonna let people get access to that for $100 a month, just to sign up, just get it. But you get it as a clear system without any of our setups into it, right?
Right.
That's if you want to use the backend system yourself and figure it all out. But that's like 12 months of you figuring all that stuff out that I put into it. It makes no sense. It does nothing for you. So what I was my first offer was a one-time setup fee for people, where I set it up for them for like, let's say $4,000, and then they just have it at $100 a month for as long as they want. And then they get the support videos in there, right, to use and figure it out themselves. We set up the campaigns for them and everything they want, and then we just release it. It's implement and release over 3 months.
Mhm,
So over that 3 months, we get you set up, and then from then on you're going by yourself.
mhm,
Or we do every single thing for you, including hiring a VA who's going to call your leads and book them on your calendar. That's a
mhm.
second offer. And that one, all you do is just show up and have your intro call, have your close call, and go about and spend your money. Like
Yeah.
that is going to be more of a yearly agency model, where we're going to kind of take you on as an agency client, because we're doing everything for you. We're
Right.
getting your LinkedIn account. We're doing everything for you, right? So that one is probably going to be more on like an equivalent to like a 20. I was thinking $3,000 a month
Mhm.
for the whole year as a one-time package to do everything for people. But again, that's not what I'm gonna offer. That's not what I'm gonna offer you. That's just to show you like where I'm thinking of doing with the pricing, especially if you're coming out for sales, right? You kind of need to know that. If people want to do monthly, 3,000, 3,500 per month, that's just that includes a VA, like leads on your calendar. We guarantee, when the system is primed and optimized in 30 days, we
Mhm.
guarantee at the very least 15 calls every single week. Is that going to change someone's business? Yes, it is. You
Right.
know, so it's a conversation of, are you willing to invest that money in your business and get to where you want to go? And that should make sense to whoever wants to take that leap. But for you, what I want to do is, I want us to do like a little bit of a half a setup, half a pay per lead model,
Okay.
or because if we're doing sales, I'm going to be paying you per lead too. So what we're going to be doing is, we can have a modeled meaning like a duplicate back and forth commission basis, where every time you make sales for me, you get a commission. Every time I make sales for you, I get a commission. And
Yeah.
we'll set up firm closer for you for one base price. And I'm thinking, like, in order to get everything done and get a VA dedicated to you where it won't cost me anything, and I can fold it into my cost, I'm probably just gonna charge you 2,000 one time setup.
Mhm.
And in that one time setup, I'm pretty much bringing you on as one of my clients. So I'm not gonna have you doing everything yourself. We're gonna put you on that show up to your book call model, where like we're just gonna book your calendar for you. We're gonna set up your snapshot, just like how you saw Stephanie. Stephanie's my partner. She handles my firm now. Just like when I started, she was my first client, and we worked so well together that I just had her manage my tax firm. Like she manages with my mom now. So
Yeah.
that's
That's
just
awesome.
I'm better at building relationships like that. So if I can have you come on as a sales wing of this thing, man, I'd rather have that type of relationship where I just charge you $2,000 to set this up for you, and
Yeah.
that's just me covering my costs.
Yeah.
And we don't even charge you the monthly firm closer fee, and we just charge you per lead. So every time you get a lead, you just pay us a commission,
Okay.
right? And that should be fair. Every time you close a lead, rather, you pay us a commission, and then we just keep that relationship. Same way, every time I send a sale your way and you close it, you get a commission off of that.
Yeah.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
And I feel like that's kind of fair, right?
Yeah. 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 And I let, it just goes back and forth,
Mhm.
whichever way. So what are you thinking on like cost per lead?
Cost per lead, you mean as far as the commission for per lead?
For yes,
Well,
well,
mhm,
for either one of us, right? So, and
yeah.
maybe you haven't gotten as far as if I close somebody, what do I get? I
Mhm,
guess what I'm interested in that, but what I'm more interested in is like, so I pay that fee, and then what do I need to pay per lead or per client
mhm.
um, that I get from your system?
Okay, great question. So I'm gonna give you two options for that, right?
Yeah,
First option, we can do pay per lead, or we can do pay per engagement letter. Pay per engagement letter, which is actually probably what I'm gonna do with you, is pay per engagement letter, where every time you close somebody, what I do with my salesman is usually 20% commission, which I don't think it's too bad.
yeah,
But I actually think that's pretty on the high end, but I like it. It's good for me. It works. But
yeah,
20% commission. And then for you, what we could do is either you could pay me per lead that shows up on your calendar, meaning not closed lead, but you can pay me per people I put on your calendar per week, or you can pay me per closed appointment, which is going to be is exactly that same 20% that I'm offering you, right?
mhm,
Does that kind of make sense? So
yeah.
you can choose one or the other. Up
So
to
just
you.
20%, just either way
Yeah.
for me, and then for you back and forth.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, okay,
And I mean, my biggest package offering is 3,500 now, but it's probably gonna go up, man. As soon as I like, because this is gonna build anybody a seven-figure business. And
right,
3,500 a month is easy to pull into a seven-figure business, man. Like
yeah,
honestly. So
yeah,
eventually I'm gonna build this up to like I'm even thinking about doing a coaching program where I'm gonna help people kind of build the firm life they want as far as automating themselves out of it, hiring people and all that stuff. And I would love to bring you in because I want to teach people how to do tax plans,
yeah,
and actually charge more per client. So
yeah,
that's another conversation we can have where, you might want to be a part of my coaching community where,
yeah,
you also get a commission on that as well. Every client that you take on to coach, if that's something you're interested in. But
yeah,
I find that having these different little small compounding things, especially when you get to the point where you're automating yourself out of your firm, you're going to have a ton of time, man.
right,
Right. And if you want to hire, I have so many resources to hire like tax managers. You can find a VA that does bookkeeping better than a seasoned bookkeeper here in
yeah,
Philippines for like $3 an hour. Like, and they're
yeah,
great.
yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. No, and I know. I'm trying to remember what site I used it a long time ago, and then
is it
she just never
QX?
left. She's still there, but
Oh, she's
it's
so,
but it's like I don't know, it's like an Indeed in the Philippines, pretty much.
yeah,
It's kind of
yeah.
So, yeah, there's lots of stuff. I used to use like Fiverr, Upwork. There's a lot of domestic people on
Hmm.
Upwork, so it's a little more
Hmm.
expensive. But I've used Fiverr, and then there's that other one, um, something Philippines. Anyway, I can't remember what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. There's like VA Academy Philippines, but the one there's two I actually really like. There's a company called QX Accounting, and
Yeah,
they're okay. And then there's one called Interglobal. Interglobal is really okay. They're really good too. They both have like great tax managers and stuff that are like they've already worked with companies in the U.S. So they're
yeah.
really good. Like we just integrate them into our Slack. Like it's
What
great.
was the second company?
I think it's Interglobal. Let me take a look. One second. I have them on this laptop. It's Nintor global dash global. Um, Let me see. One second. I have them on here. Um, yeah, so it's Initor dash global.com.
Cool.
Initor global. Yeah,
Yeah,
they have some really good VAs.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when you get a couple of those in your firm, you hire like one high level tax manager here or CPA to work with you.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you just
mean, you
can't.
get 10 bookkeeping clients paying you $500 a month or $1,000 a month, man. You can sit wherever you want.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and it really, and that's the interesting thing. What another reason that I was interested in getting in this industry is because I don't know a ton about. I know a little bit. I don't know a ton, which is why I'm getting my EA. But it's just like the potential. Like
Mhm,
you really you don't need. I just know, like you said before, it's a numbers game.
mhm,
I know how many businesses are out there,
mhm.
but even a small percent, right? Just I just know how big the market is, and it's a numbers game. If I can just reach that market, which is I was trying to figure out how I was going to reach out to them, which obviously are going to help me with that. But
Yeah.
um, you don't need very many
No, you don't.
at our customer value. You don't need
Yeah.
very many to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
No, you don't.
So
Yeah.
it's
It's crazy. And especially when you're doing tax planning and like in real estate investing, man, you have so like I think your niche is one of the easiest ones because real estate agents are the tax laws pretty much written for investors. Like it's written for them. It's
yeah,
so easy to provide so many different points of value to them, especially in these organic channels that I just showed you.
yeah,
And like I'm telling you, most CPAs don't even think about doing advisory. They just do compliance. Like they're just gonna file that tax return or get that minimum amount, and people don't want that. So when you start like when you make yourself almost like known as being on a crusade to help them better
yeah.
themselves and to man, like that's when things kind of change, you
Yeah,
know?
and I think you have to, and anybody can file a return, right? Anybody can do.
Mhm.
You can do it on TurboTax if you want to do that, right? But you
Yeah.
have to you have to provide that extra value to
Hmm.
differentiate,
Hmm.
because if you have somebody will pay more. I know because I've paid my accountant a lot because I know it's going to be done right. And I'm a
Right.
smart guy. I could probably figure it out,
Right.
but I know it's going to be done right, and the value that he provides, because he's done a whole bunch of it. He does some other business consulting stuff, and there
Hmm.
was I needed to get a business loan, raise some other capital and stuff, but it was in
Hmm.
a difficult time for us when we very first started. So he sat down with me. He's like, "We'll go here and call this guy. I know this banker, and we're gonna do this," and he got it done for me.
Yeah.
and and so I
Yeah.
look at that, and it's like, to help other people, and like I know the right mortgage officers to get this type of debt that you can't get walking into a bank and whatever, and I know
Mhm.
these so I feel like that would be um, a good niche, because it's even I know real estate, and then on top of that it's like I know other stuff on top of the taxes too, like I can help them
Yeah.
with other stuff as well.
Yeah.
So
So you remember where when I mentioned like I call it like a value compounding where like just the credit repair thing that I mentioned. If
yeah,
you imagine where not only are you able to provide at some point you might want to do credit repair. Not only able are you able to help them do wealth management, tax plans, like save money, but you actually help them get more business by giving them a credit repair specialist for their clients to like you provide a one-stop shop for your clients to
yeah,
get massive results. There's with you for a lifetime.
yeah,
And as you said it, like it's I think the biggest key in this industry to making some tons of money is not serving everybody. When you
yeah,
like just like your accountant got you to believe that they can do it,
yeah,
if you see somebody and they're like, hey, look, I specialize in working only with real estate agents,
mhm,
you just automatically like, okay, well, you've already seen tens of thousands or hundreds of situations just like mine. You're
yeah,
gonna be the best person, right? So it all makes perfect sense. Like that's what the first question I asked you is what's your niche? Because this doesn't even work unless you have a niche. You want to
right,
build that rapport right at the top of the bat. Like I'm a specialist, I help tax professionals, I help roofers, I help.
right.
That's the whole key, man. And a lot of people don't even know that.
Yeah, well,
It's crazy.
and like you were saying with the on your Instagram, it
Mhm,
seems like you've got everything, and you're still growing and expanding and adding more
mhm,
stuff too. Um, but like on the Instagram, just where you provide value, and the
mhm.
like I commented on your, I was like, okay, this is all great, but who makes your graphics? Because they look really, you know,
Yeah,
like just every little thing is really, it's done really well, and then that
yeah,
providing value, and that how it's presented and everything. So I think it's a really well-rounded um, system that, like you said,
yeah,
you can just that kind of grassroots organic, but you're able to
yeah.
scale that.
Yeah. I
So
mean, so the first thing that usually happens with our clients, even for my firm, Black Star Tax, they look us up. When they look us up after seeing that like one-on-one concierge like experience and they see our super professional website. I mean, our website has tax calculators, like all sorts of really cool stuff on it. They
mhm,
see that it matters. It helps build
yeah,
that trust 1 inch at a time. Like, and
yeah,
I feel like that makes it easier to close the call because
Yeah, absolutely.
one of my colleagues was telling me, saying this the other day. They were like, they had a prospect come to them, and I think maybe it was a post in one of the groups, but they said that they had quoted the person like $1,000, and the posted person that said, "Well, I've got offers for 200, 300, 400," and they're like, "Well, no, I'm sorry, my service is going to cost 1,000 because I know my expertise, I know my subject matter." They
Yeah,
told them that stayed firm. A day later, they got an email that they wanted to, the client wanted to move on, and that happens to us all the time. Like
yeah,
people are going to always try to lowball you, but at the end of the day, when you're talking about like, hey man, have you used the Augusta strategy? Like, are you aware of like, because your CPA is not going to talk to you about that. They're going to do the work for you. A lot of times, if it doesn't fit their need, they're not going to do it for you. But if you
yeah.
tell them these strategies and you show them where they can fit it into their life, it gets so easy to do our job. Like
Absolutely.
it's cool.
It's just a matter of getting in front of enough people, right?
Hmm.
Because we're right, this is the best way to do it, and,
Hmm.
and this is the value that we're going to provide, and these are the systems that we have. So it's
Yeah.
as long as it starts with good intentions, and you just have the best product
Hmm.
because we've sat down and we've been intentional about how to solve our clients' problems.
Hmm.
All you have to do is present that to a lot of prospects, and
Absolutely.
it pretty much sells itself. I mean, that's really,
Absolutely.
you know,
So one thing I learned actually from this guy named Andrew Carusi. He taught me that like, and he does this. I just saw him do this one day. He built his Facebook profile to over 5,000 people, and they're all digital marketers. Now, when you build that automatic system, and you're adding people, and you've got
yeah,
5,000 roofers on your page, or 5,000 real estate agents on your page, and you're doing live sessions on with even some of your past clients, where you talk about the transformation you helped them get. Like
yeah,
you're talking about how a client had like $150,000 in tax debt, and you helped them cut it down to 30K. You're gonna get some calls, man. You're gonna get
yeah,
some messages. And you might we see like live streams turning to 30K in Stripe payments all the time. Like it
yep,
just makes sense because you get to like drop bomb, and you get to create like an influencer like type of relationship by doing one at a time conversations automatically. Like you don't have to, you take yourself out of it as a human, or you delegate it to someone whose time is not as valuable as yours, because your time is worth so much money per hour, right?
yeah.
Bro, it's honestly such a very simple
It's so
calculation. Like, yeah, it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
It
totally. And
is.
it's crazy. We're talking about going live, and then when you go live, and all your followers or most of your followers are your niche that you're talking to, anybody can go. I can go. I can pick up my phone, I push the button, I can go live right now. But for
Yeah.
some reason, you have this credibility
Hmm.
when you're on, like, you don't have to. You're not on CNBC or Fox
No, you're
News.
not.
You're not like weren't invited because you're an expert on
Right.
it. You just push the button because you're live, but
Yeah.
because you're talking to the right people through that medium, through that platform, being live on it, it's for some
Yeah.
reason, and you have to provide value, right? And so
Yeah.
you're providing value through that medium, and now all of a sudden you're this expert, and
Hmm.
you have all this credibility, and yeah, like you said, it's so much easier to close. They're
Yeah.
already they're already sold before you
Hmm.
even talk to them,
Right, right.
so
And I mean, there's this other thing I'm actually currently working on, this other little lead generation idea that I'm working on, but it's using Facebook groups. If you just like creating that profile funnel, you're gonna have some people that are not interested in your service, and sometimes we churn them out. We'll just unfollow them so we can add new people. So you constantly have a fresh amount of people coming in.
yeah,
You just
yeah,
Even the people that you churn out, you always make sure you downsell people into a Facebook group. So even if someone says, "Hey, no, I'm not interested in what you're doing," say, "Hey, look, all right, cool, but can I invite you to my free Facebook group where I just send out
yeah,
tips? Maybe I might share something with you that your CPA is not using." As soon
yeah,
as they get into that Facebook group, you've got them for such a long time, right? Now you got your home community where you can drop like little booklets, or little workbooks, or trainings, or testimonial videos, lives. You can just share them. Man, it gets so easy to just kind of build an ecosystem.
yeah,
Um, so that's the next step for us too. Like, so Stephanie, right now we're working on content pieces for her, because she's gonna start going on live on Facebook. She's got like about 300 roofers on her page at the moment. We're
yeah,
going up to 500, and we're just gonna start posting a bunch of like testimonials, like transformations with her clients, and we're gonna get these people into a group. And I think she wants to build out almost a similar program to what I have in my agency, where she's going to offer them either come in and do like, just have us do CFO services or tax plans for you, or
yeah,
come into our seven-figure roofer lifestyle program where we're going to teach you how to live a lifestyle of, she's working on that back end,
Yeah.
because people want coaching. Someone wants to have somebody there,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
totally. Absolutely. Okay.
yeah.
No,
But yeah,
that's
man, I'm sorry to blast you with so much stuff.
I love it. No, this is great. Yeah, it's I'm drinking from a fire hose, but it's great. There's a lot of
Yeah.
information and super super valuable. Yeah, you get it, and
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
that's anyway. So it's a lot of information to take in. I I think with what we've talked about, I think it's fair. I think it's agreeable. I
Hmm.
see the value in it. Um, I think at this point, I think what we should do is probably schedule maybe another call
Hmm.
that's more specific to whether it's more specific. Well, we should probably do I'm just trying to think about this. We should probably do a couple more calls just because so much information, at least for me.
Hmm.
Um, One that's specific to my firm and what we're going to do specifically. You showed me a lot, but
Hmm.
how we're going to target, what we're going to and then if we want to do another one on more
Our
training
sales process.
yours,
Hmm.
um, so that I can get more information, so I know the product that I'm will be selling or whatever. And I don't know when you wanted to pull the trigger on that. I'm still getting my stuff. My goal is 3 months. So by
Hmm.
the end of February, the the test you can take is through February 28th for the
Hmm.
enrolled agent. There's three. I don't know how familiar you are with it, but there's three parts. Um, and so my goal is to take one part a month for until the end of February, and I got to get it before the end of February because in March and April they don't test. They update
Hmm.
the test,
Right,
and then
right.
in May they start to test again. So that's my goal in the next couple months, next few months, to be fully enrolled agent. I'm doing a lot of
Hmm.
other studying outside of the course that I've purchased as well, and so that's kind of when I'm going to be ready. I'd probably like to start this maybe even before that, before I'm an
Hmm.
EA,
Hmm.
um,
Well,
just to
see,
get the ball
that's
rolling.
actually right, and that's actually why I asked if you do clients right now, because I wanted to know if you would be willing to take on clients right now, right? Because
Yeah,
the way it works, it really takes 90 days to prime up to where it's giving you the most amount of leads at
yeah,
all. It's not something where we just turn it on and I'm actually working. Like, we have to get your connections up to the right place. We have to get your Facebook friends up to the right place, get you drop value in the right place and do all that type of stuff. And we have to set it up. And it usually takes about 90 days to get primed. And
yeah,
even in that time though, like as soon as it starts getting set up, you start getting appointments. You start getting people raising their hand. It might be, 2, 3, 4 every week, but
yeah.
very
So
quickly it compounds, right?
yeah,
So that's why I wanted to kind of offer the lead per pay per lead model, because if you wanted to do that, we can literally set you up. And with that offer, I was for all intents, we're gonna consider you an agency client,
yeah,
meaning for that, like we're gonna do a kickoff, and then that kickoff is where we're gonna talk about your actual campaign, what we're
yeah,
gonna set up for your company, like your LinkedIn. We're gonna get access to your LinkedIn, your Facebook,
mhm,
Instagram. If you want us to do every single thing that I'm doing for myself for you, I'm gonna do that because I get pay per lead from you. I want you to have more clients. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So that
Cool.
just makes more sense. I want to deliver to you. So you just got to tell me, hey, I'm ready to start dealing with clients and selling clients. And you being a salesman, I'm even more comfortable with having that pay per lead model because I'm happy with that. Like, you can
Well,
close, you
yeah.
know.
I know. I mean, I know I'm going to close it, and I know
Mhm.
it's probably going to result in me paying you more than what I would normally on a monthly basis. But at the same
Yeah.
time, it's if it doesn't work,
Mhm.
then I
You
don't
don't
pay
risk
you.
anything.
So I'm
Right.
going to pay you more, but yeah, I'm okay with that because I get to go
Right.
through that system and it lowers the risk for
Well,
me.
you kind of get your money. You gotta get your money back because I'm gonna be paying you too because I like my
Well, that's
system's already
true. Yeah,
running.
yeah, you're
Like,
right.
my
Yeah,
programs already running.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
it really works out. But like my program's already run. You're the second person I'm showing this to because talking about that priming,
yeah,
like I did I think 5 sales calls this week.
yeah,
But just for full clairvoyance, 3 people didn't even get to the point where they wanted to see it. But we didn't do an intro call. Like, you and I didn't do an intro call. I just told you what I had. I explained to you, and we got right on this call. And you're
yeah,
interested.
yeah,
Like, but this is just the start of me priming. Like, if you saw, I initially had my LinkedIn going for real estate realtors, and I just changed it to tax professionals, it's repriming. So in that conversation, it's just a matter of me plugging your name in there as my I'm usually call it my client success manager, or some like a partner, business partner, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then funnel all the sales to you instead of myself, and then that's it. Like, so it's ready as far as me sending sales your way. So that's also ready, but at the same time, we're able to adopt this for you, like anytime you're ready to take clients and make your own sales, as far as your company, right? So that's up to you. But essentially, what we do is, if you want to take that deal where we do the one-time setup and then we just have you on as an agency client and we do per lead, at any point you can decide, hey, I just want to go off of pay per lead, the 20% commission, and I want to do more of an agency model and pay per month. If that's what you want to do because you're paying way more, I'm okay with that too. You know, it just works for me because I want to get you started. And either way, I feel like I'm going to get value from this relationship in your coaching experience, because not coaching, but your sales experience, because that's where my mind is like at the moment. I just want to do, be successful with this. I think people need this software in their business.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. So lots of information. Let's set up another call. And we can maybe go more into the specifics with my stuff, and then we'll go a little more into specifics exclusively. Maybe we won't talk about my stuff on another call, and we'll do just your stuff so I can get more in depth and so I can be prepared to sell that stuff. And then we can probably get that rolling pretty quickly, I would say. And but let's schedule another time. Like, would a week be okay, just for me to?
It's up to you.
Digest.
Yeah, let me know. Yeah. I mean, I'm here whenever you're ready. Yeah.
We can set up another time. I don't know if I can use that same Calendly link that you have or something. So I'll use that and maybe pick a day, maybe even middle of next week to end of next week, or this coming week rather, just so I can digest and think about the stuff.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I tend to do that. Like,
you're good.
This was meant to be a 30-minute call, and I just like went off showing you all this. I showed you so many things that I wasn't even trying to show you.
Yeah.
I showed you the back end of so much stuff.
I appreciate it too, because that allows me. It's like, okay, this work. Like, I want to represent something that's going to be the best fit for people, and I don't want to spend my time on something that's crappy. Is not
work.
Not gonna provide value. So that was really helpful as well. So my last thought for you is we talked about the real estate niche and stuff like that, which is great, and that's kind of what I know and stuff. What would you think about doing? And I know it's important to specialize. I think one problem that I think I would face with that is I wanted to also add to my firm that real estate side of I think that I know that real estate is the best investment that you can make, and I can go into all these reasons why, but this is why it's better than everything else. The agents that I'm talking to, believe it or not, they may or may not know the same things, right? They know how to sell real estate, and they don't know how to invest in real estate, but my concern is that's going to be a big part of my add-on, and they're real estate agents themselves, so they'll just go by the property themselves, so then I don't get a commission from that. So I think it's good to focus on an industry that I know as maybe some tax and accounting, bookkeeping type of clients, which is great. But what are your thoughts on maybe picking another niche where I can kind of run two of them, because I can go all in on this real estate stuff. I'm not going to get any real estate sales from that because they're already agents on it,
I see what you're trying to. So you want to be able to get sales from your clients as well,
right? Yeah,
clients.
And so and there's so many, advising on taxes and wealth management. I'm pretty good at that stuff as well, and investing and stuff. I've been doing that for probably 12 to 14 years, well, probably 12 years now. So I'm good at that stuff. But if I tell somebody, hey, let's take 250,000 from your retirement. You could even keep it in an IRA or whatever it is. Let's buy some real estate with that. Oh, and by the way, I can connect you with the right lender that they don't need. It's an investor loan, right? They don't need your tax returns or anything, right? Just make it really easy for them, and you're going to get these returns. That buy is like $1 million worth of real estate, and that's like a $30,000 commission to me. So that's a bit, and again, we don't need very many of those to make a lot of money. So that's the only concern I have, because that would be a big revenue source for my firm, even if I got a few people to use me to buy some rental property. Um, and they're not going to do that if the real estate agents just go buy it themselves.
So
So
essentially what you're describing is being a consultant, right?
yeah,
For entrepreneurs or investors who want to get into real estate, pretty much, right?
right, yeah, and,
Yeah.
and not even, yeah, I guess it's consulting. I guess
Yeah.
consulting. I'm bouncing off of the credibility that I have. With, you trust me to do your taxes. That's really
Hmm.
important. You should trust me to do your investments as well. And in those
Okay.
investments, you know what I mean? And so in those
Yeah.
investments, if you want me to manage your stocks and bonds, that's great too. Um, but the best investment's real estate. I'd like you to buy some real estate. And then
Hmm.
I'm their agent and I get paid that commission to help them buy real estate. And they're getting a great return. So it's that wealth management, but instead of getting a commission to sell them a mutual fund or
Hmm.
cash value life insurance, I'm getting a commission to sell them real estate, which is, like I said, if someone has 250, which a lot of people have retired, a lot of people have a lot more than that in retirement, buys a
Hmm.
million worth of real estate, 3% commission, that's a $30,000 commission for me.
So I don't think that you'll find that some agents
Mhm.
might be interested in that because they might work specifically within a company that doesn't give them the opportunity to do that with their own. And like being an agent, you're typically working with other clients, not necessarily buying your own property. We're talking about wholesalers typically who buy their own properties. So I
Yeah.
think you might find success in doing that. I would call that wealth management. I would lump that into your wealth management services where you give them um, the investment opportunities as an option where you use your experience. I can be a real estate agent, but it doesn't mean I know the same thing as you do. You might be so much better at using, getting sales or getting deals. So I think you still might have people coming in for that. But what it really sounds like is that that's a completely different vertical. And I wouldn't get more tax clients in order to upsell them into something. I would just straight go to who you want to do I would just say I want to be a consultant as my other vertical. So I would just create another business where I would just name it after myself and call yourself a consultant, a real estate consultant, kind of similar to what I'm doing
Mhm.
for tax firms, and just help people, buy properties as a separate thing. And you can make that really successful using your tax knowledge and your real estate knowledge as the social proof and the reason why they should trust you. But I
Right.
would, you're not going to get that from real estate agents, but you're able to speak to agents so much. You're able to get real estate agents to trust you for your work so much easier
Yeah.
because you're a real estate agent. So it makes sense for you to go towards those people for your tax business
Right.
rather than make it hard for yourself going anywhere else. So
Yeah.
I would just say that's a different thing that you want to do. I wouldn't, but still you're gonna have real estate agents that are interested in that. So just add that as a wealth management option into
Yeah.
your business, and then still have a separate vertical where you just do consulting. And
Yeah.
you're right, you just need 5, 6 of those to make a stupid amount of money.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. That's what
yeah,
I'm saying. So you get hundreds of
yeah.
people. So, okay. So yeah, that's a good point. That's,
But we can also do that. We can do that inside of Firm Closer as well. So like you can go into real estate groups and find wholesalers who want more properties and serve them that way.
yeah.
So it's just a different vertical. Like I do e-commerce.
Yeah.
My agency, we do also. If you come to us and you're a credit not credit repair company, but a mechanic, right? An auto body shop. We have campaigns. We've worked with an auto body shop before. We can duplicate the whole process and what we had for you and put it inside a Firm Closer for you. But
Mhm.
I've only had to do it so far for tax firms.
Mhm.
That's where I focus. Doesn't mean that I couldn't like very quickly duplicate what I've already done for another vertical or another
Right.
industry.
Okay.
It's not too hard. Yeah.
So, so how did you guys choose roofing?
Stephanie chose roofing. So
Okay.
roofing is her niche because she already had a bunch of roofers in Lockhart that she'd work with, Lockhart, Texas.
Uh-huh.
And my niche is digital marketers. I chose them because excuse me, in my personal page, I am friends with I lost track. And it's just because in the process of learning how to market and over 10 years of just being in the industry and talking to them, I just ended up being friends with so many of them that it made sense to focus on that because I could just go on my personal Facebook page and share testimonials or just share what I've done for some of my clients in my firm. And I always get people asking questions or raising their hands. Like I'll even have, the similar friends type of the
Yeah.
functionality in Facebook. That thing's probably made me like hundreds of thousands of dollars simply
Yeah.
because someone will see that I have common 30 mutual, 40 mutual friends and they're like, oh, this person must be, if you're friends with like Russell Brunson, Andrew Cruzy, like Josh Gad, like all these people, and you see all these names, you're gonna follow me, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the same thing that's gonna happen with you, because you're gonna stumble upon some $1 million, real estate agents that are well known, that are just want to connecting with, that just want to connect. And since these people are in some of the same groups, they're gonna be friends with each other. So they'll start seeing you as a similar friend. And man, like same thing happens with LinkedIn. I mean, you see similar connections on LinkedIn. Like social media just kind of does most of the work for us, man. It's just like following up the right way and booking that call. But yeah, so yeah, I would say just go into wholesaler groups and do that. And just kind of like that's where I would start, or just entrepreneur groups. Just start a program. Heck, even do a course. Like just it's very easy to put together a course, like a simple, like very like 5-video course. You could sell it for $99, and then on the back end of it, attach a calendar for them to book a strategy call. In that strategy call, you can show them how they can take their stagnating money, or whatever money is in their whatever money that they have, and invest it in real estate. Like that's a whole roadmap that you can lay out for them, right? That's how I would say do that. And that would be actually extremely successful.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that's a good thought. And I don't want to get too scatterbrained with it. I was just saying, well, long term, I'm thinking about that. So that's a good thought. But I mean, as of now, I just got to get my EA, and I just got to get started, right? Let some money coming in, and I can worry about the other stuff later. And if I master this real estate one, and I want to do another one later on, a different niche, still keep one going and whatever, and then we can start another, whatever. So
just to share with you a little bit of something that I like personally. So I'm a musician. I've always wanted to be like a traveling musician. I've always wanted to travel and do music. So what I'm gonna do at Firm Closer next is I'm gonna build a whole ecosystem for live events, like ticketing, everything, like follow up for a concert, like merch sales, merch discounts, like all that type of stuff. I'm gonna build into Firm Closer, and I'm gonna try it out with some artists. I'm thinking I'm gonna start a record label next. So same page with you, like conquer one thing first, get that residual income going, step out of it, go do something else. Like I don't like doing taxes, so the idea was never to be a tax professional. So.
But your mom was already a tax professional, right? And you just want to get her clients?
No, she wasn't. My mom was a nurse. Right now, my mom is just So my dad's a doctor. My dad is a scientist. He's a doctor, but he's a PhD. But he does food testing for Mars. So they're well off. Like my mom doesn't really have to do anything, so she's really bored. So I got her degree to go sign up to some management classes, and all she does is manage. She doesn't do the taxes. We hire people to do the taxes. We have VAs and a tax manager to do that. And Stephanie does. She's my partner in Lockhart. She actually manages my digital marketing clients along with her roofers, because I've automated her out of so much of her business that she has time to like do my clients and her clients too. I just do her marketing. You see, like, so that's kind of what I'm trying to do with you. Like I take part of your business out of your hands. You take part of mine out of my hands. Man, we just have an ecosystem that works.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Okay. All right. Well, let's do this. I'm gonna sit on this, just kind of digest everything. And I think within the next week, so I'll go on in the next day or two and schedule another time with your Calendly link.
Sure.
That works for you, and then we'll just set up another time, and then we can kind of go from there, I guess. And I can start learning more about your stuff, and we can go from there. So
awesome. That sounds perfect to me, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot my personal phone number, so you can just text me. Like I think we're gonna end up working together in huge ways. Whether or not we work together I want your experience with me. So whether or not we work together on the it just like we're gonna work together as far as me getting your help, if you're okay with that percentage. So I'm gonna shoot you my phone number, and if you have any questions, if you want to see anything, just text me.
Okay, cool. No, that's great. Why don't you just give me your note? I'll just write it down.
Oh, sure. It's 540.
540. Okay.
425.
425.
4779.
It's Kobe.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. All right. Sweet. I'll shoot you a text, just so you have my number, and
yes, sir.
And then we'll go from there. So
awesome, Kade. Thank you so much, brother.
All
You have a
right.
good day, okay?
Thanks, man. Yep. We'll see ya.
All right, see you. Bye-bye.